Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. This is Umaira Said, lecturer English Times Institute, Pakistan, and today we are going to discuss the paraphrase, the importance of paraphrasing, the techniques of paraphrasing and its importance in the dissertation. So, pick out your pencil and the paper so that you may note down important point, and the one thing is that paraphrasing is not a theoretical thing, it is something which based on the practice. The more you practice the paraphrase, the more it will be easy for you to make your dissertation, thesis, writing thesis statement more easy for you. So, before discussing the paraphrasing, let me elaborate you that what actually paraphrasing is. It is based on two words, para and phrase. Phrase is a group of words which gives some meaning. It may be and it can be said as rephrasing, to rewriting something, to reproducing something, and to the restatement of something by keeping the original statement in mind. When you rewrite something, restate something by making it elaborate more than the original length is said to be the rephrasing. One of the philosophers says that the good paraphrase turn the paragraph into good, and sometimes the bad paraphrasing can also turn the good paragraph into the bad paragraph. So, it depends upon you that how you are rewriting something. There is a difference between the summary, memo writing, précis and paraphrasing. So, let me revise it for you. What is summary? If I say that summarize this paragraph, it means that you have to squeeze the important information out of it, you have to give the gist, you have to bring out the crux out of it, is said to be the summarizing. If I say you to send the memo is sending for a very minute or very little or very composed information for the internal communication. If I say you that what is précis, the précis is also is like skimming, you have to make the paragraph 1/3 of the original length. But when I say paraphrase, the original definition of the paraphrase is the restatement of the sense of passage in other words. Like you have to rewrite the same passage in your own word, and length of the paragraph can be more than the length of original paragraph. So, what will be the paragraph which will you write in your own words? It means that you just read the paragraph, memorize or understand the in-depth meaning of that paragraph, and then rewrite that paragraph in your own words, and sometimes the length may be double into the length of original text. It is the same when you elaborate some cricket match, some football match or some roadside incident. Suppose when you are passing the road and you see some quarrelsome or the quarrel between the two people, and when you have to elaborate that quarrel, so you will not dictate or elaborate or narrate that thing one word by word, but you just recall that incident, and when you elaborate that incident in your own word is said to be the paraphrase, because you are making that incident more simply concise and more understand and comprehensible to the other person. In a simple word, this is the paraphrasing which I make, which I understand and which I make easy for you to understand as well. Why it is important for the writing of the thesis? One of my teacher once said that the research is research. Why I am saying like research? Someone has searched something and you are researching that thing, and your contribution in the field of research will be equal to this nib. You cannot add something new or novel in research. So, your contribution will be equal to this. I am again repeating, equal to this. This is your contribution. When you paraphrase some topic, the thesis statement, or when you paraphrase some extract information from the book, why do you write? To avoid the plagiarism. Plagiarism is a complete topic which we will discuss in the coming lecture. So, I am just giving you an outline just to avoid the plagiarism. The paraphrase is very much important, because you are reading something and rewriting something, and you will avoid the copy paste, and the chances of the plagiarism will be less, and it will come out not only your original research, but it will come out your original effort. So, thesis is nothing. Thesis is your individual effort, that how much effort you have put to make your research and make your contribution into the field of research, and that is why paraphrase is considered to be the one of those factors. Paraphrase is also included to make such difficult thing a very simplest one. Let me give you an example. It is an example from the Bacon's, like I have extracted out some examples from the Bacon's essay. He was the 16th century philosopher and essayist and the prose writer. He once said in his essay from Married and Single Life, he quoted that woman is young man mistress. Please note down this, the woman is young man mistress, companion in middle age. Please write it down, companion in middle age, and old man nurse. It is very informative for you. So, it is one of the famous quotation from his essay Married and Single Life, and you may read it as well. Woman is young man mistress, companion in middle age, and old man nurse. If you will quote the same thing in your research, in literature, or in the prose writing, it will become as a contribution from the Bacon word. But if you want to fill up the belly of research pages, you may elaborate these 3 sentences in a 3 to 5 paragraph. You may say that it has been said that woman has a very vital role. Now, students, I am elaborating these 3 lines in my words. Woman plays a pivotal role in the life of the men. The man and the woman are like the 2 wheels of the cart, and both are irreplaceable and indispensable for each other, and that is why when a man married to the woman, so she becomes the love part of his life. So, you may replace the mistress. Now, you may find out the mistress. The use of synonyms sometimes not only change the meaning, but also contribute more solid meanings in the sentence as well. You may say woman is young man love part in the life in the initial days when they married with each other. It was a merry making day, so they become a close one to each other, but as the life passes, she becomes the good companion, because she has to face all the doldrums, and she has to face all the hot and the cold days with the men. So, she appears to be the best companion and the bosom friend of her husband, and in the old age when the man is old, and the woman as well, but she becomes the nurse as well, because she is the only person who takes care of her husband more appropriately and more carefully than the rest of the people. So, this which I elaborate is the elaboration of this, and what I did is the paraphrasing, not the translation. What I did is the paraphrasing, and what is this? The original text. As I said that the paraphrase word length can be more than the length of the original text. So, this is the one example that how you may paraphrase the original text. The next is, it is the reproduction. As I am saying, the paraphrase is basically the reproduction. How would you paraphrase? I have written 5 steps. There are 5 steps of a good paraphrase. Number 1 is to read. When in examination or for your thesis, when you find something, for to rephrase is just to read the paragraph. Read the paragraph more carefully and more intensively. Now your exercise of intensive reading will be occur there when you read the passage more intensively. Now the second step is reread. What you would reread? When you read the paragraph, you will underline the different and the difficult words, and if you not know the meaning of those words, you may find out the meaning from the context, that what it can be mean, or if you know the synonym of that word, it will be more appropriate, my dear student. After rereading, now write the text. As the example is this, you read, you reread and underline the different words, and now you are writing the 3 lines into 8 to 10 lines, that you have to elaborate it. After writing, you may recite and find out any grammatical mistake, or have you included any complex or the compound sentence or any grammatical mistake, pick out those mistakes, correct it, and at the end you may review. So these are the 4W, 4R and 1W, that read, reread, write, recite and review step, and these are the 5 steps of making the good paraphrasing of a paragraph. There are different tools available on the Google for the paraphrasing, but do not rely on the machine, because sometimes machine put in some wrong synonyms and it may change the concept of whole of the paragraph. So rather than depending upon the machine, use the machine which is been residing here, like use your brain, use your hemisphere. It will help you a lot to make your paraphrase more easy for you. So what are the characteristics? Like, let me elaborate, my dear students, that paraphrase is not a translation. Please keep it in mind and never run after the translation. Paraphrase is a species of translation, but it is not translation. You know, translation is a very different and the difficult. What I must say, that it is an arduous task. Rumi was translated, Allama Iqbal has been translated, Umar Khayyam has been translated by Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald translated in this way that he made him as a blasphemic person, because his quadrantines was not like that, but Fitzgerald made him the more blasphemic person. So it means that translation, in the translation you may not capture the depth of the meanings which you want to draw out of the original language. Number 2, Allama Iqbal poetry has been translated, but the taste, but the sense and the sensibility which comes out of the Allama Iqbal original poetry, we never find in the poetry which is being translated in English. The originality and the taste which we find in the poetry of Ghalib and Ahmad Faraz in Urdu or in Persian is been lost when it been translated in English. So originality sometimes lost and sabotaged when it is been translated. Secondly, in paraphrasing there must be some compactness and wholeness. As I am repeating again and again, that when you paraphrase a original text in your own words, never let any information, any important piece of information, suppose if you are paraphrasing a paragraph which have contained five important information, in your paraphrasing all these 5 information must be present. You cannot skip, eliminate or reduce your paragraph without like you cannot skip any of the important information. You may elaborate the length, you may increase the length, but you cannot remove any of the important information. So let me give you another example for the paraphrase, and it is your classwork which you have to done and practice at your home. And the number 1 quotation which I will use for you is, reading makes a full man speaking makes a ready man and writing makes an exact man. I am again repeating for you, please write it down. Reading makes full man, speaking makes ready man and writing makes an exact man. So practice these quotation from the Bacon's of study, in which he said that it is the reading which makes an exact man. Like when you read something, you are getting the knowledge, and this knowledge will be helpful for you in speaking. As in the communication we said that the more we listen, the more we speak, the good we listen, the good we speak. If we read something good, it will enhance our knowledge as well. The speaking makes a ready man. The more you speak, the more sharp you become. Like if you speak, many of the students say, ma'am, our English is not that much fluent as many of the other fellows have. So I used to say that the practice is the something which makes you more perfect. And if you want to command over one language, make it more practice in your common and the practical life. The third is the writing make exact man. If you want to memorize anything, if you want that these things imprints on your mind, then start writing. So these are the paraphrasing of these 3 words and 3 lines. That is how you paraphrase. Your paraphrase, I will try to provide you the paraphrase paragraph in your WhatsApp group, so that you may practice that paraphrasing at your home during this quarantine period. So this was the lecture for today. I hope that you understand all the basic points, which was the purpose for you to make you understand. So wait for the paraphrase material which we provided in your WhatsApp group. So take care. Allah Hafiz.